From translation, KJV King James Version, this 115th day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Kings 12-14, 2 Kings chapter 12, verses 1 to 22. In the 7th year of Jehu, Jehoash began to reign. And he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Zibiah of Beersheba. And Jehoash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all his days, wherein Jehoiada the priest instructed him. But the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. And Jehoash said to the priests, all the money of the dedicated things that is brought into the house of the Lord, even the money of every one by the virtue of his heart, put it to the use of the priests, whereto they expend it. But the priests took to themselves the silver brought to the house of the Lord, and turned it to be used for the broken vessels. And it was so that at King Jehoash's command they made a chest, and set it without at the gate of the house of the Lord. And they made proclamation throughout Judah and Jerusalem, saying, bring in to the Lord the money that is brought into the house of the Lord, even of every man according to his ability, for the repair of the house of your God. And all the princes and all the people rejoiced, and brought in, and cast into the chest until they had ended. And it was so that when the chest was brought to the king's office by the hand of the Levites, and when they saw that there was much money, the king's scribe and the high priest's officer came, and emptied the chest, and took it, and carried it to its place again. Thus they did day by day, and gathered money in abundance. And the king and Jehoiada gave it to such as did the work of the service of the house of the Lord, and mended the house of the Lord, and gave it to the carpenters and the masons, and to buy timber and hewn stone to repair the house of the Lord, and that which was left of the money of the house was given to the overseers of the work, to repair the house of the Lord. Howbeit there were not made for the house of the Lord bowls of silver, snuffers, basins, trumpets, any vessels of gold, or vessels of silver, of the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. But they gave that to the workmen, and repaired therewith the house of the Lord. Moreover they reckoned not with the men, into whose hand they delivered the money to be bestowed on workmen, for they dealt faithfully. The trespass money and sin money was not brought into the house of the Lord, the priests took it to themselves. Then Hazael king of Syria went up, and fought against Gath, and took it, and Hazael set his face to go up to Jerusalem. And Jehoash king of Judah took all the hallowed things that Jehoshaphat, and Jehoram, and Ahaziah, his fathers, kings of Judah, had dedicated, and his own hallowed things, and all the gold that was found in the treasures of the house of the Lord and in the king's house, and sent it to Hazael king of Syria. And he went away from Jerusalem. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And his servants arose, and made a conspiracy, and slew Joash in the house of Millo, which goeth down to Silla. 4 of his servants conspired against him, to revenge the blood of the sons of Jehoiada the priest, and slew him on his bed. And he died, and they buried him in the city of David, but they buried him not in the sepulchres of the kings. And the servants of Joash conspired against him, and slew him at Beth-millo upon the bed, and he died. And they buried him in the city of David, but they slew not his sons. 2 Kings chapter 13, verses 1 to 25. In the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Ahaziah king of Judah, Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 17 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and followed the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which made Israel to sin. He departed not therefrom. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he delivered them into the hand of Hazael king of Syria, and into the hand of Benhadad the son of Hazael, all their days. And Jehoahaz besought the Lord, and the Lord hearkened unto him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, because the king of Syria oppressed them. And the Lord gave Israel a saviour, so that they delivered them out of the hand of the Syrians. And the children of Israel dwelt in their tents, as before a time. Nevertheless they departed not from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, who made Israel to sin, but walked therein. And there remained the grove also in Samaria. For he left an army of horsemen with him, 50 chariots and 10,000 horsemen, and the army of the king of Syria destroyed them, and made them like the dust at threshing. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoahaz, and all that he did, and his might, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jehoahaz slept with his fathers. And they buried him in Samaria, and Joash his son reigned in his stead. In the 37th year of Joash king of Judah, Jehoash, the son of Jehu, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 16 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, but he walked therein. And the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, and his might wherewith he fought against Amaziah king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Joash slept with his fathers. And Jeroboam sat upon his throne in his stead. And Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Now Elisha was fallen sick of his sickness whereof he died. And Joash the king of Israel came down unto him, and wept over his face, and said, O my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And Elisha said unto him, Take bow and arrows. And he took bow and arrows. And he said to the king of Israel, Put thine hand upon the bow. And he put his hand upon it. And Elisha put his hands upon the king's hands. And he said, Open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, Shoot. And he shot. And he said, The arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of deliverance from Syria. For thou shalt smite the Syrians in effect till thou have consumed them. And he said, Take the arrows. And he took them. And he said unto the king of Israel, Smite upon the ground. And he smote thrice and stayed. And the man of God was wroth with him, and said, Thou shouldest have smitten 5 or 6 times. Then hadst thou smitten Syria till thou hadst consumed it. Whereas now thou shalt smite Syria but thrice. And Elisha died, and they buried him. And the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in of the year. And it came to pass, as they were burying a man, that behold, they spied a band of men. And they cast the man into the sepulchre of Elisha. And when the man was let down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up on his feet. But Hazael king of Syria oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz. And the Lord was gracious unto them, and had compassion on them, and turned toward them, because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and would not destroy them, neither cast them from his presence as yet. And Hazael king of Syria died, and Benhadad his son reigned in his stead. And Jehoash the son of Jehuos took again out of the hand of Benhadad the son of Hazael the cities which he had taken out of the hand of Jehoahaz his father by war. 3 times did Joash smite him, and recovered the cities of Israel. 2 Kings chapter 14, verses 1 to 33. In the 2nd year of Joash son of Jehoahaz king of Israel, reigned Amaziah the son of Joash king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did according to all things as Joash his father did. Howbeit the high places were not taken away, the people sacrificed and burnt incense still on the high places. And it came to pass, as soon as the kingdom was confirmed in his hand, that he slew his servants which had slain the king his father. But the children of the murderers he slew not, according unto that which is written in the book of the law of Moses, wherein the Lord commanded, saying, The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children be put to death for the fathers. But every man shall be put to death for his own sin. He slew of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000, and took Selah by war, and called the name of it Joktheel unto this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us look one another in the face. And Jehoash the king of Israel sent to Amaziah king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trod down the thistle. Thou hast indeed smitten Edom, and thine heart hath lifted thee up. Glory of this, and abide at home. For why shouldest thou meddle to thy hurt, that thou shouldest fall, even thou and Judah with thee? But Amaziah would not hear. Therefore Jehoash king of Israel went up, and he and Amaziah king of Judah looked one another in the face at Bethshemesh, which belongeth to Judah. And Judah was put to the worse before Israel, and they fled every man to their tents. And Amaziah king of Judah lived 15 years after the death of Jehoash son of Jehoahaz king of Israel, and they buried him with his fathers in the city of David. And Azariah his son reigned in his stead. Now all the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, and his might wherewith he fought against Amaziah king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Joash slept with his fathers, and Jeroboam sat upon his throne in his stead. Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Amaziah the son of Joash king of Judah lived after the death of Jehoash son of Jehoahaz king of Israel 15 years. And the rest of the acts of Amaziah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent thither after him to Lachish, and slew him there. And they brought him upon horses, and buried him with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Judah took Azariah, which was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. He built Elath, and restored it to Judah, after the king slept with his fathers. He was 16 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jechaliah of Jerusalem, and he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, he departed not all the days of his life, according to all that David his father had done. But the high places were not taken away. The people sacrificed and burnt incense still on the high places. And he built again the sea of brass, which Solomon his father had made in the plain between Bethhoron and Bethel, and he cast it and made it of a cubit thick, and the brim thereof was wrought like the brim of a cup, with flowers of lilies. And it held 2,000 baths. And the rest of the acts of Uzziah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? For the Lord had not said that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven. But he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam the son of Joash. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, and all that he did, and his might, how he warred, and how he recovered Damascus, and Hamath, which belonged to Judah for Israel, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jeroboam the son of Joash king of Israel began to reign in Samaria, and reigned 41 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And he restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was from Gath-hepher. For Jeroboam shall die in his bed, and shall be mourned for, and he shall rise again, and shall eat and drink in his house. But his son shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be removed out of their own land.